Assalamu alaikum, guys. I'm actually here with my student, my former student. I taught you in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Correct, 8th grade, yes. Yeah, she used to try to clown on me because I had a bald head. I used to clown her because she had a big forehead. So it was okay, it was fair. It was fair. It was a fair trade. So one thing that was really interesting for those who are catching up to speed, my student over here texted me. She actually DM'd me. You DM'd me first, right? DM'd me first. And you actually said that you were interested in a copy of
the Quran.
The Quran, an English copy of the Quran. Okay, so let's bring it back a second. Why Islam? You were talking about Ramadan and stuff. Why? Like, what's the reason? What got you into Islam?
So technically ever since like middle school, I've had like, I feel like I've always connected more with like the Muslim girls than like my own girls, like the Dominican girls, the Hispanic girls. So I would always like sit next to them or like work with them on like group projects and stuff. So it's like I would connect with them more than my own people.
Wow. So your first introduction to like Islam, right, was like just the Muslim students?
Yeah.
That were in or something?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Well, that's really interesting, actually. So, and you know what's so crazy? I always remember you for being someone who was very spiritual. I do remember that, just because I would pass by and, you know, we would see each other every now and then if I'm driving by in the car or walking, and you'd be coming out of church. Yes, you would be. You would be coming out of church. So you're someone who used to go to church like every Sunday?
Yeah, I still do. I'm a Sunday school teacher.
Whoa.
Like my parents, they're both like strict religious people. So I go to church with them, and I actually teach on Sundays.
Wow.
I teach like the younger children. So like from the ages of 3 to 9.
Wow. So wait. You're telling me a Sunday school teacher is now interested in Islam?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, you know, you mentioned to me, actually Idris was mentioning a little bit to me, that you were having a little bit conflict within your own faith, right? Like some things weren't making sense or something about that. What's that all about?
Yeah.
What are some things that are bothering you, I guess?
So, like, for a long time, I've just been like breaking down my religion and just been thinking, I'm like, yeah, Jesus might be the son of God, but like the way the Muslims believe it is that like they still believe in him, they just don't like believe that he's 3 in 1.
Okay.
Which makes sense, that he's a helper from God.
Yeah.
And so then like I started doing my own research, I started breaking it down more, and I was like, this thing actually kind of makes like more sense than Christianity. And so from there I'm like maybe I should keep doing more research.
Sure,
and so like I kept doing more research, and I was like, yo, Islam is so cool.
I remember, because they wouldn't know this, I used to see you walking out, coming out of church. Which church did you go to, by the way? The one that's right here? Yes, yes. I used to remember seeing you guys coming out. You had like, you know, a little church skirt on. I remember that. I remember you used to come out there. You used to come with your family, and I was just gonna roll my window. I'd see you. I'd be going to the mosque, and you'd be coming back from church.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember very, very vividly, like asking Allah. I said, Ya Allah, guide this person. Wallahi, God's my witness. I used to say, if I ever seen you coming out of him, I used to say, may Allah bless this person and guide this person. So when you hit me up via Instagram asking for a copy, an English copy of the Quran, it was not a surprise to me at all. Like, though I'm surprised, as in like I'm like excited, shocked, and happy and all that, but at the same time, this is based upon a dua. Dua meaning a supplication. Like when you ask God for something, in Arabic that word is called a dua. Right? Dua, that's what it means, to ask, raise your hands and asking God for something. I remember seeing you come out of church, and I would ask God to guide you to the straight path, literally. And now here we are, years later, you've messaged me for Quran in English, and I'm here to obviously give that to you. But before I give that to you, I wanted to ask you some questions about that, right? So, just so we have this well established, do you believe, just so we're on the same page, you believe that Jesus, peace and blessings be upon him, is not God, rather he was sent by God? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right? Like he's a messenger of God, he's a prophet of God.
Yeah.
Correct? That's your belief of it. Okay. That's after you doing research about the whole thing and learning more and more, right? Which makes more sense. Correct? Like in your heart, it doesn't give you any trouble, because when you're learning about the Trinity, this and that, you have these, but how does this make sense?
Yeah.
How does that, like growing up with that, how was that for you?
Well, like, especially like growing up in church and like with like all the messages and like preaching, like I would try to understand and like ask questions, but then it's just like something just didn't sit right, and I'm like, bro, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
And so like I would like at times like I wouldn't ask nobody, like I would try to do my own research, which like I probably should have asked somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And at times like I asked people and then they're like, that's a really question, like a really good question, let's ask so and so. So we would ask them and like they would explain it, like it would make sense, but like for me just
Your heart didn't settle.
yeah.
You understand? And the reason is because Allah has put in every human being's heart something called a fitrah. A fitrah is your natural disposition. Like when you're a child, if I were to tell you, you know, where's God? You'd probably point to the sky.
Mm-hmm.
If I asked you how many gods there were, you would say there's only one. The concept that there's multiple gods, or God, you know, reincarnated some as a human being. You see, like, it doesn't sit well. It just doesn't sit well in the heart. And God's faith and his religion and his understanding should make sense, right? It should sit well in the heart. It shouldn't cause your heart to do this volatile kind of thing, like, nah, that doesn't sound right. So let's just collect this conversation. So you believe in the oneness of God, right? You believe that Jesus, peace and blessing be upon him, is a messenger and servant and slave of God, right? And do you believe that the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, is a messenger of God?
Yeah.
There we go. So, Abby, I just want to let you know that if you believe in these things, right, that if you believe God is only one and he's the only one worthy of worship, and that Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, is a slave and servant of God, that makes you a Muslim. So, you're a Muslim. I just want you to know that, right? You're a Muslim, like, okay? So, if you're happy with that, and you know, being called a Muslim, which, you know, that's your belief, so like there's no other way around it. I mean, like, if this is what you say, this is what you believe, this is who you are, you're a Muslim at the end of the day, right? If you're happy, I would want to you know, say that same statement in Arabic. Would you be happy with saying that? And I'm gonna say, and you can repeat it after me.
The Shaddai?
The Shahada.
Shahada.
The Shahada. The Shahada is a testimony of faith. You have the Quran now. Start the reading process. You have any questions about that, you can obviously reach out to me, whatever. I'm giving you this prayer mat as well. I'm also going to show you the Arabic prayer so that you don't get confused and you're able to do that. I'm also going to grant you access to an app that helps you build Quranly. I'm gonna get you the okay. Someone's watching my content over here, right? I'm gonna get you the Quranly access so that you can start developing a habit of the Quran. So you're not just reading there; it's on your phone, because you might not be able to walk around with the book, right? Yeah. It's on your phone, and that it'll remind you to read the Quran, and it's in English as well too. It's in Arabic, obviously, but it's in English, and we're just gonna hook it up for you. Okay, we're gonna give you this free access to that, so you have access to that, and you're able to develop better skills and habits of the Quran as well too. Make sense?
Yeah.
If you have any questions, you have my number. Send me a text, call, whatever. I'm here for you. Ash. Hadu. An. La.